If you've ever struggled to get a clean, professional finish on your corset binding, this is honestly the easiest method you can use. And this method is perfect even if you are a beginner. This method is absolutely beginners friendly. It's something a beginner can achieve easily. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to sew your corset binding neatly and without stress. First, let's talk about what you will need. You will need a corset that is already done. In case you don't know what a corset binding is, corset binding majorly is like you trying to conceal the edge of your corset. It could be at the up or at the down. Sometimes it's at the side, binding your corset together, like the finishing. And to do this, you must have sewn your corset to a particular extent, and binding is like the final step to finishing your corset before the embellishment and all of that. My name is Oluwatosin. In case it's the first time you are seeing my channel, and you're welcome. To all my returning subscribers, you're also welcome. In case you are new here, please consider subscribing, and don't just subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you when next I upload sewing tutorials like this, because on this channel I upload sewing tutorials on daily basis. And for this particular corset that I made, for the binding of this corset, I added structure at the upper part, but I didn't add structure at the lower part. You can see how structured the upper part of the corset is, like the corset binding at the top is structured, but the lower part is not structured. At the same time, you can also structure the lower part of your corset binding. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. But for this particular one, I only structured the upper part of my corset binding. Now, to do this, like I said earlier, you must have sewn your corset to a particular extent. So I've sewn this corset to this extent. I've joined all my panels together, but I've not fixed my cup on it, and it's now time to bind the upper part of my corset. This is the upper part now. So I cut my tool, I made it wide enough for me to be able to fold it twice or thrice. So altogether, when this tool is not on fold, it is 6 inches wide, but I've folded it into two now, and then I stitched at the upper part of it. I attached the tool to the corset first, the part where I want to bind, then I stitched my boning on top of it. This is a sewable boning. Please make sure that you trim out all the allowances as much as possible. Then after stitching the boning on both sides, I folded it downward on top of the corset. So this is on top of the corset now, and then you neatly stitch on top of it. Please, you have to be as neat as possible at this point. And for the edge, you just have to tuck it in neatly. Like, you have to be as neat as possible when you're handling this part, because it's like part of the finishing of a corset. So I took my time to tuck in the edge that is towards the back. The other edge, you're going to be joining your cup on top of it. Like, the other edge will be entering your cup. But this particular side is the back, where the eyelet will be. So there is nothing you are joining to that part. So you just have to neatly tuck it in and stitch on top of it. Majorly, that's it on how to bind a corset if you want it structured. But if you don't want it structured, you just have to neatly stitch your tool on top of it. Let it be on fold of like 2 or 3 or even 4. I mean, fold it, like wrap it 2 or 3 or 4 times on wherever you want to bind, and stitch on top of it. I hope this tutorial has been helpful. I made this corset is so beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question, please ask me down in the comment section. Now, have you watched any of these tutorials that are currently showing on your screen? The one on the right side is a detailed tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew this corset. If you're interested in knowing how to cut and sew this corset, starting from the drafting, please just click on the box on the right side of your screen, and you can also click on the box on the left side of your screen. It's an amazing sewing tutorial as well. As much as possible, please help me share my tutorial and miss your friends and soulmates. If you are still here and you've not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. If you have any question, my comment section is always opened to answer all of your questions, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.